Hello everybody, and I'm finally back on this chair once again. You know, I occasionally just come back to this channel every now and then, give my unwanted, unnecessary opinion on movies, and then just disappear for another few weeks or months. Well, I actually apologize for that. I'm gonna give a brief talk about this at the end of this video, but I'm actually back for real this time. There are gonna be consistent uploads. Finally! Hopefully there are actually people who care. Well, that being said, let's just, without any more like bullshit, let's get into today's video. And today's victim is Scream 2022, or just Scream, because they couldn't call it Scream 5 for some reason. It came out in like mid-January and I only got around to watching it, so because of that, I think there have been enough time for people to watch it. So I'm going to be dissecting it with spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, you've been warned. For all the rest of you who are excited to watch this video, thank you. Thank you very much for supporting this channel. Let's get into it. Just like anybody with taste, I really like Scream franchise. I rewatched the whole thing like a year or two ago, and I still love it. The first one obviously being the best, and naturally I was looking forward to this one. And well, you know, from the title of this video you can guess, it wasn't really that good, and I'm gonna tell you why in this video. There are two reasons why people, myself included, like the Scream franchise. It's the meta part of it, obviously, all the references and all that. And the second reason is because we all love the whodunit part. Who is the Ghostface? Who is it this time around? I mean, that's why we all watch these movies, and that's why they're awesome. And it was fun watching this one as well, until you actually turn on your brain and start thinking about things a little bit, because when you start using that little thing inside your head, you start realizing, oh, that doesn't make much sense. Oh, well, that doesn't make sense either. Oh, there are tons of illogical moments in this movie. Just like with any good Scream movie, they acknowledge cliches of the genre. For example, there's a really good scene in this movie where this jock character, this muscular dude, is making out with his girlfriend at the party, and then the girl is like, hey, let's go hook up on the second floor, but he's like, no, there's Ghostface around. I don't know who's Ghostface. I mean, I don't think it's you, but still, I'm gonna make sure to not make any mistakes and just stay safe. And I was like, oh wow. Finally, a character with a brain. That's great. You know the rules of the genre. But then, literally a minute after, his girlfriend's like, okay, bye. She gets mad at him. She leaves, storms out, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go look for her. In the dark neighborhood, there is Ghostface around. They're literally like targets. They're the friend group of the girl who gets attacked in the beginning of the movie. So of course you're a target and you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go out. I'm just gonna go out and look for my girlfriend. And even worse, he's like, yeah, I might as well turn on my smartphone and just, share my location, because what could happen, right? It's not like Ghostface could be around killing me and I could make it even easier for him. What are you doing? And unfortunately, it's not just once that this happens. In fact, Dewey does a mistake like that as well, which is extremely upsetting because he's a veteran. He actually knows the rules. He knows how to survive, and yet he makes an absolutely insanely stupid mistake. I'm referring to the scene where he and Sam go to rescue Tara and Richie, and then he tells them to go down the elevator and that he's going to shoot Ghostface in the head. You know, a reasonable thing to do, a logical conclusion. Good job, okay. But then he starts walking extremely slowly towards the target. Like, it's not like Ghostface could jump out. You know that these bastards have like infinite lives. You gotta be quick with that thing. But no, he walks slowly. But anyways, that aside, that's not the whole like mistake. The biggest mistake is that he gets insanely closely. You have a gun. At least, just have some kind of distance between you so that if it jumps out, which happens a lot, you can at least react to it. But no, he gets so close that they could be hugging at that point. And then even dumber than that, he gets a call from Gail, and he gets actually distracted by it. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go pick up the phone. Like, he just looks down on the phone. Like, what are you doing, dude? This is the dumbest thing you could be doing. Why? Why did you do this? Why? Like, that's why. And he jumps out. Obviously, Ghostface absolutely murders Dewey. They did my boy dirty, honestly. Dewey, the veteran, that's not the way that he should have died. I guess this movie tried to seem ballsy by killing some of the old cast. And by old cast, I mean Dewey and the sheriff. Which, by the way, Sheriff's death is also a little bit funny to me. It's like, She literally gets murdered in front of her door in broad daylight in a neighborhood. Like, you're telling me there isn't a single person who saw this? Not a single person walking down, or just like maybe someone seeing it from their window? It's not like it's a cold winter. There's not a single soul on the street. How? But anyways, they killed off the sheriff. Yeah, look at them go. Since we already touched upon the hospital scene, let's talk about it a little bit more, because it is full of plot holes. First of all, thinking about that scene now that I've actually watched the entire movie and know who the ghost faces are, I'm like, how did Dewey die? Because in that scene, Richie is also there, so he isn't Ghostface. It's Amber, this teenage girl. She's probably 17, let's say 17 or 18, right? We've seen her, she has just a normal build for a teenage girl. But that fight she had with Dewey, it was like they were fighting as equals. Like, Dewey was barely resisting. So you're telling me the 17, 18-year-old teenage girl who isn't like, there aren't even like she's an athlete, she was like super muscular. Like, she's just a normal, skinny girl. You're telling me the 17-year-old kid, is stronger than Dewey, or as like strong as Dewey, and that she was able to murder him brutally. Like, excuse me? Like, even if it was, by the way, Richie, this scrawny like freaking dude, like, there's no way he would actually fight against Dewey and win. But Amber, are you serious? Dewey was a policeman. Like, he was a deputy and then a sheriff for a few years. He has had formal training. He's a muscular dude with formal training. You're telling me that he died from the hands of a skinny little kid? What? It's just like, at least, maybe if it wasn't Dewey, I would be like, maybe, like, this is stupid, but anyways, but you're telling me that this is how they killed my boy Dewey? Really? I'm telling you, they did him dirty. This is so unfair. It's absolutely sad and absolutely ridiculous. By the way, I'm totally fine with killing off some of the old cast. That's not the problem, but just do it right. You can't take a veteran character and kill him off in the dumbest way possible, where he made the mistake that he wouldn't actually do and then died from the hands of a skinny child. Okay, moving on. Also remember that in the hospital scene, Tara was barely moving her wheelchair because she was in excruciating pain still with all of her injuries. Well, the last act happens the next day right after that, because Sam's like, I'm going to take my sister out of town. So that's the next day. And then in the last act, when all the characters are held captive by two of the ghost faces, who's the one who saves the day? It's Tara. So not only can she now walk somehow, but she's also strong enough to actually fight against the ghost face. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, of course. When actually, in reality, her injuries should have gotten even worse after the fight with Ghostface, but whatever. They somehow did magic in the hospital. We'll let that one slide. Sydney and Gale don't have a major role in this one, which is fine. But I gotta be honest, the whole little drama between Gale and Dewey, it was so unnecessary. It's just one of those things where it feels like the creators somehow felt pressure to do something with their relationship, because in each movie previously there was something going on between them. But like in the last movie, they were together, they were married, like all of that is just done. Like the whole part about will they end up together, will they not end up together, all the issues between them, all of that was resolved in the previous movies. It's all like done. Can we just leave it to be? Like, you don't have to create this new thing between them, especially like they clearly show that they still both love each other. So why do you have to make this whole thing? Like, it doesn't even affect the plot that much. They could have just been like, yeah, they're still married. They're still doing fine. They still seem happy. No. What? Well, wait, what? The fans like this couple? We gotta do something with that. We can't just let them be together. Of course not, because that would be wrong. Oh, that would absolutely destroy the plot of this movie that is already perfect. Of course. Now let's talk about the people behind the ghost face mask this time around. I personally was thinking that it's going to be Amber and Liv, but after that scene, like towards the end where Liv was like, I'm going to murder you, or some dumb thing like that, I was like, okay, it's probably not her. But I was right about Amber. I didn't expect that it would be Richie. It's just like, it feels like the first pick, like the love interest, and so you're like, I guess it's not him. So I didn't guess that it was him. I'm gonna be honest, not the most exciting ghost faces, or their motive isn't that exciting either, but whatever. Also, Jacquees Ritchie and Huey from The Boys literally could switch places and nothing would happen. Like, Scream would still be the movie it is. Like, it's just, these characters are extremely similar. Now, what about the protagonists, Sam and Tara? Well, they're okay. You know, they're fine. I mean, Tara is in the hospital the entire movie, basically. And Sam is the one who's kind of doing the action. She's okay. I mean, the whole thing about being the illegitimate daughter of Billy Loomis, it is a little bit ridiculous, but this movie kind of acknowledges all of that. Like, it's the requel. They go back to the roots or whatever. But they didn't really have to show a ghost of Billy Loomis. It just, that part of it was kind of goofy. Although I've been pretty negative about this movie throughout the entire video, I actually didn't hate Scream. While I was watching it, I was actually having fun. And, you know, when I finished the movie, I wasn't thinking that, oh man, that was a waste of time. You know, those are the worst types of movies. Scream wasn't like that. I still enjoyed it. And probably in the future, when I rewatch all the Scream movies again, I'm going to rewatch this one as well. And maybe my opinion will change, although definitely not, because it's one of those movies where you start thinking about it like after the movie and you're like, well, this scene was like this, like why did Dewey die from the hands of it? You get what I mean. In that sense, there are tons of dumb things about this movie, but I still had fun. So this was my opinion on the new Scream movie, and now I want to know your opinion on it. So leave them down in the comments below as always. Also, I am back once again after 2 months of not uploading anything. I know it's pretty crazy. I was really busy, to be fair, but at the same time, in the last 2 weeks, I've been thinking about how I want to progress this channel. And I was thinking that I didn't really feel like making a review all the time. Like, sometimes I want to, like right now, I wanted to discuss this movie, but sometimes I just don't really feel like that. And I know that majority of my subscribers subscribe for example, especially, I think, specifically for Korean movie reviews. And I'm still going to be making them, but just maybe not always. And I want to kind of mix up things, especially since my channel is still really small. It's like I have 1K subs. And so I can still try and experiment. And by experiment, I don't think like I'm going to be doing some insane things, but maybe occasionally try some different things and see if it works, see if it's interesting to you guys, see if I like it, so that I can, you know, make some fun stuff, not just like reviews. So I hope you guys keep supporting this channel. I really appreciate it. You've been supporting all the videos, even like when I wasn't uploading. It means the world to me. So thank you, and I hope you keep supporting. And I hope that I won't disappoint you guys. And if you made it this far and enjoyed this video, leave a like as always. And if you're excited for a lot of videos that I'm going to be now consistently uploading just as, you know, like often as I possibly can, subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you soon. Bye.